Set your release.
Hi and hello, friends. The mic drop is a free-flowing conversation that oftentimes touches on mature subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
Thank you for that beautiful intro, Voltaire, my co-host of the Mic Drop. If you are coming back and are regular viewers or a new viewer, please hit that subscribe button, notification bell for awesome content on your Friday night, for entertaining content on your Friday night, with voicemails. Don't forget about the voicemails. We picked a winner last month. I still have to send CGH the funds. But get ready for April. We want to keep it going, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Get your voicemails in. We have it's just me and Voltaire tonight, as far as I know. Here is the hotline number, and the title is not clickbait. I was concerned about Johnny Storm. I love Johnny Storm. I love the Fantastic Four. They went full Kathy Kennedy on Johnny Storm. It seems like make him lame.
Uh-oh.
Make him lame. The cringiest, most virtue signaling comment came out of Joseph Quinn, and I love Joseph Quinn from Stranger Things. Was he super PC in that? I don't know if you saw that.
Of course, I've seen an episode of Stranger Things. I didn't even.
He was not super PC in that. He was the bad boy. Sometimes there's the bad boy.
Yeah, you know what, Max? Cal is right. Your mic sounds tinny.
Okay. Thank you for letting me know.
Thank you, Cal.
Okay.
Have a Pabst Blue Ribbon on me, brother.
Does that sound better?
There we go.
Okay, somehow it switched to my camera mic instead of my real mic. Okay. So Isaac says it feels like clickbait. No, I really like. Look, if you watch
Now, hold on, Max. I'm sorry. Can you provide some context in case somebody doesn't know?
I will provide the context. But if you watch Deadpool and Wolverine, one of the standouts was Johnny Storm. And I love the first Fantastic Four movie before MCU. And part of the best parts was the Thing. Michael Chiklis is the Thing, and Chris Evans is Johnny Storm. I actually think he's a better Johnny Storm than a Captain America. Now the movies. The movies are better for Captain America, but he had that snark, perfect timing for when he was cast as Johnny. One of the most perfect people for the role, and I do feel like there's warning signs here that's going to be a downgrade. I've had concerns since I've seen the photos. He just doesn't look. He just looks like mopey, emo Storm. You know, I like emo, but I don't necessarily want to pay a ticket to watch an emo guy.
It's challenging to Chris Evans is so good. I mean, even Anthony Mackie, even though he's a different character, it's just challenging to replace him in any capacity. So going like a big divergence doesn't help either.
All right, let me bring up this.
Donovan, we get your feelings. We're going to talk about it.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not censoring here. I'm not saying the movie's going to be garbage. I'm not excited about Johnny Storm. I'm not excited about it. And I had concerns with him before this comment. I was like, oh.
By the way, Donovan, if you want to leave these mega chats, it's fine. Thank you. But why don't you leave a voicemail, buddy? Then you could talk, and you would have to keep nailing the chat.
Okay, so let me bring up this image here. And then I'll read to you the quote. Now, I do want to do research and get the whole interview, because most likely someone got a one quote out of the whole interview to get attention, because it's going to bring attention to the certain, aspect of YouTube, including me, because I love Johnny Storm. The typical argument, did you like Johnny Storm before? Yes, I love Johnny Storm. Does that mean he's necessarily a womanizer? No, but he's arrogant. He's an a-hole, and he's not PC.
He is an a-hole. Listen, guys, I'm not an expert on the Fantastic Four comics, but what I do know is that the Thing, who's a monster and ugly, had a girlfriend, and Johnny Storm stole her away from him.
Yes.
That is not a nice guy thing to do. That is not like, know.
And I know what the arguments are going to be. The straw man arguments are going to be, Max, he likes women. He wants men to be womanizing. He doesn't want to be men to be progressive. No, I'm progressive. I want people to be nice to each other. I want people to respect women's boundaries. But not all characters are like that. Look at Johnny Lawrence and Cobra Kai. Look at Wolverine. Sometimes, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine kind of,
Johnny
There's
a Variety article about it. You want the Variety article?
Yeah. If you could put in the private chat.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. So here's the quote. Joseph Quinn pointed out differences between his Johnny Storm and other iterations. And did you hear this before, Voltaire, before I read this? Did you hear this quote?
Yes.
He was branded as this womanizing, devil-may-care guy. But is that sexy these days? I don't think so. Now, if you're going to go a different route, okay. But this is a major virtue signal in an interview, too.
But pull up the Variety article, Max. Trust me.
Yes. Okay, I will.
Because that is the tagline. What you just read, that's the tagline to the Variety article.
Okay. And this Johnny Storm was exciting, and that's why people cheered in Deadpool and Wolverine when he was not Captain America. And he was Johnny.
I think they cheered more for Chris Evans, but I get your point.
Yeah. No, I don't. See, because it does. I'm not necessarily hung up on the womanizing part. I'm hung up on.
Well, hold on, Isaac.
The whole quote. The whole quote.
The actor implied very much that he was a womanizer, right?
Yeah.
That's not Max saying he was a womanizer in the comics. The actor said that. But anyway. Just show the proof, Max, so people know that you're not coming up with this out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. So that goes alarm bells with me that this character is going to be pretty generic. I feel like he's going to be generic. I have had concerns about this, even the look. Joseph Quinn looked amazing in Stranger Things. He had a lot of character, charisma, and he was not necessarily PC character. I don't want every character to be PC. That's where sometimes the anti-SJWs have a point. Like a lot of times they make everyone PC. That's not reality, is it? Is that a world you live in? Maybe it's a world we want to live in where everyone's politically correct.
No, I sure don't.
Oh, you don't?
I wouldn't exist in that world.
Oh, you would? Yes. So, I mean, that's why that's why I watch movies. I'm politically correct most of the time. I fumble every once in a while.
Oh,
but I'd like to see James Bond flirt with women. And not be PC. I kind of missed that with some of the most recent James Bond. Is that everything about his character? Does that mean the movie's garbage? No.
Well, no, but it's a big part of his character.
Yeah, and then just like this, I'm like, here we go again. Look at this. Remember this?
Max, what are you doing?
This is significant with James Bond taking the back seat. Now, Lashana Lynch is a beautiful lady. If she asked me to get on that bike, I would definitely do that.
If I was drunk, I would. Otherwise,
but this is James Bond. And this is not in his character necessarily.
Oh, Max.
It's not. James Bond's type A. He's arrogant. He is a womanizer. That is definitely part of James Bond's character. It is. We lost 2 viewers on that.
Let's be fair. There's a word for when a man rides on the back of a motorcycle. There's a word for people on the back of the motorcycle. I'm not going to say it, but it's called riding in a certain manner. Now, is that a mistake? Was that by accident that they put him on the back of a scooter? I don't think so, and I think that's what Max's point is. It wasn't by accident.
Mm-hmm. Cal, you unsubscribed because of that?
Oh, come on.
You remember. Oh, look at all this. Max, you suck. Okay.
We're allowed to discuss these issues, everybody.
Yeah.
We're not
What do
doing
you
it
mean
like
he
the other
didn't do that?
places.
He didn't do that in Tomorrow Never Dies. They were doing martial arts on the bike, and they kept flipping back to kill thugs. All right. Another one bites the
Why?
dust. Don't leave me, Cal. Don't leave me, Cal. I need your awesome
Okay, so hang on,
recommendations
everybody. I
from.
just want to say something. So there's those channels out there that discuss these and these kinds of things, and they make a big, huge deal about it. Whatever. We're just discussing it.
It's one.
We're not doing one spy. We're allowed.
Yeah, I don't saying that's the reason the movie. I didn't like the movie just because it wasn't because he's on the back of the bike. I don't, it
Well,
was like,
Cal, now you're going way too far, buddy. That has nothing to do with it.
actually, no, I get that is a factor. Maybe that they would feel like that. I don't know. Maybe some people would think that if they put her back.
Well, not us.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's get to this article. I'm not winning people over tonight with my takes. Okay. Joseph Quinn spoke to Marvel about Johnny Storm and where we are culturally. What?
Hold on.
You mean this
wasn't
this was his idea?
Yeah, that's my point.
Oh no.
Okay, so and I want to say something.
This is the look that I'm giving now.
Okay, so this is something I want to say too before we get into this. Everybody, this is Variety. Variety is very industry friendly. They don't print headlines without the studios being okay with those headlines. That's the reality. The other thing, and we learned this a lot from the Blake Lively thing, these actors, when they go out on these press tours, they are told what to say.
Yeah.
So he was told to say that is my point. Okay? So or that he was okay to say that. Okayed to say that. So this is all on purpose.
Listen, if you disagree with my takes, the best way to leave it is a mic drop on me. Say, Max, your takes suck this reason, and you could win $20 this month. That's pretty good. Call in the mic drop hotline number and, give a take on my take. That's fine, right, Voltaire? That's allowed.
Well, that's allowed. We're trying to have open discussion, everybody.
Yeah.
But again, this is in Variety. This is fed by Disney. Disney wanted this. So they want people to discuss this issue. We're discussing it from an objective standpoint.
My biggest concern with the Fantastic Four casting was because Johnny Storm was so peak with Chris Evans, and that even the look, he kind of looks pretty generic. He doesn't have that, he's a good-looking guy.
So I have to say, I don't necessarily agree with you there, because I have to say, other than Pedro Pascal, the casting as far as the looks of everybody, it's good. Pedro Pascal doesn't look like what I would expect Reed Richards to look like, but everybody else looks like how you would expect.
But they look like they have charisma and stuff, except Johnny. I'm sorry, and Johnny's supposed to have the most charisma in the room, right?
Well, that's fair. He's supposed to be a playboy, a handsome guy, whatever. Yeah.
Right, and he just kind of looks like a emo nerd. I like emo nerds. I used to be one.
Max went to Sebadoh concerts, okay? Do you know how much of an emo nerd you have to be to love Sebadoh?
Right, look at Bruce's gatekeeping. I don't need your gatekeeping tonight, Bruce. We might do a power hour tomorrow. He's sauceless. Yes, he doesn't have that sauce. He's got no drip.
Bruce, you can come on and discuss this if you want.
Oh, no. I don't want to be schooled again tonight. I'm waiting for the power hour tomorrow.
All right, that's fine.
He could, but then the audience is
going
to
turn on me. Power hour, I get it.
He's going to get the audience to turn on me. I'm not hating. I like this actor.
All right. Anyway,
all right, bring Bruce on. I'll send him the link.
If he wants to come on, he's welcome.
Oh,
he can't come on. He's busy. All right, Bruce is a very, he's a man about town.
Yeah. Listen, excellent thing, Cheeseman. People would say, the anti-woke people would say, Michael B. Jordan was a great Johnny Storm. He was the best part of that movie.
He was. Yeah.
Yes. I like that casting.
You know what? I never thought of it. He would be better in this role for this thing.
Johnny Storm is an emo senior nerd. This Johnny Storm looks emo. And this is the look that I gave when I heard I wanted to see where Johnny Storm is culturally. Why not say I what you like about Johnny Storm as a character in the Fantastic Four, instead of this is where people get annoyed and say the virtue signaling, Does Johnny Storm need to be a PC where he is culturally in 2025? Not necessarily, especially if they do like Fantastic Four from a different time period,
Right. From the 60s, for God's sake.
Yes.
Mad Men days, for God's sake. Everybody was banging their secretaries and getting drunk at lunch. I mean, for God's sake, everybody. I mean, okay, and these are his quotes. These are not ours. These are his quotes that that Disney fed to Variety, everybody. It's not us.
Max is from I'm very PC.
Max is so PC out of it.
I just like to see some like, for example, if Johnny Lawrence in real life would be an asshole, but he's sort of endearing,
Well, not in the original films. In the current version, yes, but not the original film.
Yeah, I'm talking about Cobra Kai series.
Okay, all right, yeah.
I don't need to see every character adapted. Some people are characters, and they don't really, Okay, let's read the rest of this. But that's Joseph Quinn spoke to Marvel about Johnny's. This sounds like Mark Ruffalo all over again.
Yeah, so hang on.
Well, why can't I Hulk out? Where is Banner culturally in 2025?
Right. So let's think about what that headline says, everybody. He took the role, and he's like, "Oh, hey, Marvel, you know what? Does he really womanize? Is that really what we want to portray nowadays?" I don't even know if that's true.
And that's not necessarily what I don't need to see a scene of him. For Johnny Storm to work, I don't need to see a scene of him doing that. It's just that energy that he's bringing to it right now, It's kind of like, this is extreme virtue signal.
But why put this article out is my question.
Yes, this is PR.
Why did Disney do this?
Yeah.
All right. Everybody ask yourself that question. You guys all want to say, oh, the Chuds are making a big deal. Max is blah, blah, blah.
It's not going to ruin the movie for me. I'm still going to go see the movie. But honestly, when you see in comparison the great news with like Supergirl set photos, and she looks pretty much on par, like right with what the comics look like, the Woman of Tomorrow comics, I'm beginning to think Superman is going to do better than Fantastic Four now, bring more excitement.
That's going to be the fascinating discussion.
That's the exact same thing. Bruce, I said I did not.
Oh, Bruce, come on!
I did not say that. I did not.
You're better than that, Bruce.
But I might want to see. I might like to see him a little flirty. Flirt with some people.
Golly, he doesn't have to be Quagmire from.
You can't tell. Listen, chat. You can't tell me this Johnny looks exciting in this picture. I don't believe you. In this picture here, I don't believe you. Does anyone really think this looks like exciting Johnny Storm?
Okay. Well, I mean, that picture's not enough. The article, maybe. I don't know about the picture, Max. I can't support you there, brother.
I'm saying just by the picture, yeah. Blue Jay member for 32 months. Thank you, Blue Jay. To lighten up the mood, chicken jockey.
Blue Jay, did you bring a live chicken into the movie? Did you do that?
Mm-hmm.
I hope not.
All right, let's read the rest of this. Joseph Quinn is joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Johnny Storm Human Torch in this summer's Fantastic Four, The First Steps. But the actor recently told Entertainment Weekly his version of the character is something different than past iterations. Chris Evans played Johnny in 2 previous Fantastic Four movies as a cocky, womanizing playboy, which is kind of what I get as the character. I mean, I don't know necessarily say womanizing. That's Joseph Quinn's words, but he's a playboy. Yeah, I agree with the playboy part. Quinn said that's no longer sexy. I think the playboy part could be sexy. I'm not saying womanizing, but
I don't even know what that means. Was it ever supposed to be sexy? It was just the character.
Yeah. Why am I getting all this ads? Underwire bras.
Max, okay. These ads are targeted, Max.
No, I'm not searching for bras on my computer. Why would I get bras?
For myself? Not for you, but maybe you're buying it for somebody.
my wife buys her own bras.
Okay, that's
I'm not
personal. Come on, she might not.
I
like
mean,
that.
I guess I could get some sexy ones, but it wouldn't be that. If I was looking for bras to buy for my wife, it wouldn't be those.
I mean, look at the bras Max is shopping for everybody. Those are not sexualizing women. That's very neutral.
Mhm. I do need a makeover. I do. Thank you, Bruce. Hey, Jeffrey, not all the time.
Yes, Jeffrey's right, Max. I'm sorry.
Thanks, Donovan. I need a man bra. Thank you.
Max has lost 30 pounds, everybody.
Yeah.
Give the man some credit.
He's a man that leads more than that now. He's a
Okay.
man that leads with a lot of bravado, which can be an affront sometimes, but he's also he's funny. That's the first thing I like that he said so far. And I hope he's funny. I hope he brings the funny. Mr. PC bringing the funny. I hope so. Myself and Marvel Studios boss Kevin Feige were speaking about previous iterations of him and where we are culturally. He was branded as the womanizing devil may care guy, but is that sexy these days? I don't think so. This version of Johnny is less That's what I don't want to hear. Johnny is callous. You know, with Ben Grimm dealing with the issues that the Thing has, you know, his story is tragic. You know, Ben Grimm's story.
Mhm.
And Johnny Storm gives him hell. And it's kind of funny because the Thing gives it the hell right back to him. And it makes that relationship so good. That's my favorite part of the Fantastic Four. Not Reed Richards or Invisible Woman. It's the Thing and Johnny Storm.
Yeah. He's supposed to be.
Those are so not taking a mountain out of a molehill. I'm still open-minded for the movie. I had concerns about this Johnny Storm looking a little generic, and them saying this version of Johnny Storm is less callous. That's what makes Chris Evans so funny in the first Fantastic Four. It's like, you're an asshole.
I mean, look, guys, remember, this is all on purpose. This statement, this version of Johnny Storm is less callous with other people's feelings. I mean, come on, man. Like, really?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so less callous. That sounds awful. With other people's feelings.
Good God. This version of Johnny Storm is less callous with other
Johnny is less callous with other people's feelings. And
hopefully there's a self-awareness about what's driving the attack.
That doesn't sound like funny. Characters that are extremely self-aware are not always funny. You know?
Ollie.
I mean, he's a jackass, but eventually he comes through for you. That's the other part of Johnny that I like, you know?
So, back to the bigger point. Why did they release this? Everybody, please. I know you love to attack us and that kind of thing. Why did they have to say anything about changing Johnny Storm?
Yeah.
Remember, this is all studio approved. He's saying he spoke to Kevin Feige. So this was approved.
Listen, I'm more moderate, but I'm progressive too. You know,
I'm not agreeing with everything he says.
I care about people's feelings. But when you have a character that is callous, but he comes through in the end and he's really there for you when you need him, even though he's a jerk, and you say less callous with people's feelings, this is the meme where people talk about the cringy lefties,
so,
you know?
Yeah. So my thing is this, like, Marvel, what they have chosen this marketing concept.
Yeah.
Hey guys, don't worry. This Johnny Storm's not going to be a jerk and be mean to women. He's not going to just be a pump and dumper. You know what I mean?
Well, I know I have more issues with the less callous to other people's. Donovan, don't spam the chat. I don't want to have to put you to timeout. That's Chris Evans' version. I love Chris Evans' version of the character. That's why people cheered in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Well, again, why do they have to mention that?
And he was a jerk there too, wasn't he? Was Johnny Storm in Deadpool and Wolverine thinking about people's feelings?
No, but see, they don't have to mention this. Is my point.
Mm-hmm.
They could just say in an interview with him, say, "Hey, all the other versions of Johnny Storm have been great. Everybody loves Chris Evans. We're trying to bring a different version of Johnny Storm, and I think everybody."
Anthony Beltry, this is not fair. I go based on the animated. I did have some Fantastic Four comics back in the day in the movies, and that's enough. That's enough for me to make a judgment.
And sorry, Max, I'm going to say once again, for everybody, including you, Brucifer, for everybody saying Johnny Storm wasn't like that. Johnny Storm stole the Thing's girlfriend, which is one of the jerkiest moves I can ever imagine. He basically stole the girlfriend of a disabled man. Okay? Like he could have had any girl he wanted, and he stole his disabled buddy's girlfriend. That's a jerk move. Johnny Storm was a jerk in whatever iteration you want to say.
Yeah. And then this is another red flag here. Really smart. Okay. I mean, he is intelligent, but he's kind of like the tag along of the Fantastic Four. You know, he's the brother of Sue Storm. He comes along for the ride. He becomes affected too. You know what I mean? We already have a really smart character in the Fantastic Four. It's called Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards. Right?
I mean, part of the Fantastic Four is that there was a bunch of different personalities.
Yes. So it says Fantastic Four director Matt Shackman called this version of Johnny really smart and is not just a dim-witted hothead.
I'm okay with that if they want to do it.
I mean, I don't want to be dumb as a rock, but I don't like that they're saying this. They're stressing this. He cares about people's feelings. He's really smart. Why? I want to hear about why he's fun to watch on screen for the movie. He's on the spaceship for a reason, and I think some people forget that in various comic stories he's been one of the most heroic. He's one of the most heroic of them. I like that he's saying this, even though he's undercutting his heroism at every turn through humor. He's Sue's brother, which means they are cut from a similar cloth. I'm not even getting McDonald's anymore. These are not targeted for me. I haven't had McDonald's.
Everybody loves Egg McMuffins.
No, I don't even buy them anymore.
Good for you, Max. But you know what? A lot of people, I'm just going to say this. Egg McMuffins have saved a lot of people's jobs. You wake up hungover. You got to get to work. That Egg McMuffin in the morning and a hash brown, that'll get you into the office. But it's not good for you, Max. But you're right about that. But it saved a lot of people's jobs.
Isaac, I love you, bro. I really care about these. I've been wanting Fantastic Four to come back a long time. So I'm not saying it's going to be a garbage movie. I'm just, one of the most things I was looking forward to the most was The Thing and Johnny Storm. Those are my favorite characters in the and besides Doom. I love Dr. Doom, you know. So I do really effing care to answer your question. All right, so
we love you, Isaac. We
love you, Isaac. Quinn previously teased Fantastic Four to Entertainment Weekly by saying there are aspects of it that are very different to the other Marvel films. I like that. That felt very compelling to me. Superhero movies are about people, Quinn continued. And if we're invested in the people and the characters and the peril and the spectacle, then that's why people go to the theaters to watch films. We're not just in a penny. We're in for a pound with this one. We're going for it. I like that part. Not everything he said was I have issues with, but I like that part. Fantastic Four, The First Steps opens in theaters July 25th from Disney and Marvel Studios. And then Crazy Joe tried to call me out and said, you're very critical of Superman. Where's this criticism for Fantastic Four? And I said, yes, the Fantastic Four marketing has been letting me down too, including stuff like this. The other thing that was, this is not as bad, is when they had the 4 Fantastic Four actors standing by this little, remember when they debuted the trailer and they're just standing by this this button that doesn't even have any give, and they're like, Fantastic Four trailer now. That was lame too. They could afford much better than that.
This is
so this
Superman.
What's
marketing.
that?
This is worse than anything Superman marketing wise.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go see this day one.
This is released. Kevin Feige approved this. This article is ridiculous. Everybody.
It's very cringy.
Completely unnecessary.
I'm still rooting for Joseph Quinn, although I do not like him in Gladiator 2. The only thing I really like him so far in is Stranger Things.
Who did he even play in Stranger Things, by the way?
He played the rock guy with
is that him?
Yes.
Different. Wow.
He has charisma. He's not PC. That's what I mean.
Well, he's zero PC, but different actor. He's an actor. He can play different characters. Well,
yeah.
Okay.
Our good friend Voltaire was so kind to gift us some memberships.
This is for the fans. Like the video, everybody.
Yes, thank you so much. We only have 5 likes. Really? Might take that bad?
Don't be a coward. Like the video.
All right, so let's see who got a gift membership. Sticks Boy 73 was gift a membership by Voltaire. I still
Did you
owe
make
him.
everything square with Sticks Boy, Max?
No, I have not. I have no. I paid him 2 payments. I have to contact him again because he's just. I do need to contact him. He
Okay, you're
contact me on
working on it,
Instagram,
though. You're working on
but
it.
I think we have a discrepancy a little bit.
Oh
I have
my
to
God.
figure out. I
If
have
you
to
need me
figure
to
out.
mediate, put me.
No. The amount of payments, I was like, I don't. I'll have to downvote.
Oh, Brucifer.
Okay, so Sticks Boy was gifted a membership. Ghost Bumbles was gifted a membership. The Juice Man, not the Juice Man, was gifted a membership. Samir was gifted a membership. And Zeno was gifted a membership. We need to take that one back. He's not even here.
Oh, what happened to Zeno?
He messaged
And
me.
what happened to Samir? Where's he been? We haven't seen him around.
I'm sure he'll be in the comment section of this video later to say that I'm wrong.
Fair enough.
Okay. So we also have great news with Supergirl. Have you seen this?
I saw the leaks, yes.
It looks great.
By the way, everybody, follow RJ. RJ's got a good Twitter, everybody. Our friend RJ.
Sometimes.
For the most part. And everybody calling Max like a chud. He's drinking from a Minnie Mouse cup, everybody.
Mornings aren't pretty. I think we do have one voicemail, maybe. I'll have to bring it up. And I'm not telling people to be jackasses in real life, but,
no,
they exist.
And
how
again,
how
everybody.
would it be if every superhero that's on the hero side is just completely PC?
And again, one more time, everybody. For everybody who thinks that the chuds are just making a big deal about this, Disney released a statement to Variety for a reason. And if you don't think discussing it objectively is a good idea, really, guys, open your minds a little bit. We love you, everybody, but open your minds.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, thank you, Joe. Joe found me some VHS tapes. I owe Joe. He found me some good ones. I'm gonna save them. Which ones he found me, for a pickup video when I go visit him. So hopefully, yeah, I would say don't mail them, Joe. So because I want to visit you and Larry. I want to visit Bruce first. No, Joe first, then Bruce, and then Too Many Games this summer. I'm going to go through some concerts. I'm trying to plan out my year. All right, let me bring this up first because there is footage of Supergirl, but it's not great. But basically, this Supergirl is confirmed.
Mm-hmm.
This is what Supergirl looks like on the set photo. This is by an artist, Job Hutz. She's got those boots, the skirt, the long hair. It's exactly what you would think for Supergirl Woman Tomorrow, and I'm extremely excited.
She's a great actress.
Yeah, I liked her in
tremendous casting. Yeah, House of the Dragon. Yes. And that's all I've seen her in, everybody. But she's very good in that. And this is like, if you want to talk about good casting, this is good casting.
Mm-hmm. What is this Senior Nerd saying? Max is not a chud, but Voltaire is a lapdog. What?
This is Senior Nerd's thing, and not just Senior Nerd, other people think that I'm just a yes man for you.
No, we disagree on stuff.
Max and I agree on some things, so therefore, and I don't shit on him like everybody else.
How do you know, Sean? I barely could make out Lobo. I saw something that looked like Lobo. It's so low quality because it's from far away. Let's watch the video now. This is
Senior Nerd. If you ever want to do a measuring contest, I'm there. Let's do it.
A measuring contest. Okay, let me see.
We'll do it on Perp Stream. We'll do it, Senior Nerd. I have no shame and no fear of that.
All right, let me find a better image of. Oh, I just had it. I found a better quality video of the set from Supergirl.
Hang on, Isaac. We want Fantastic Four to be great. We haven't.
Yes,
in my opinion, the Fantastic Four iterations have not been great. I want a great Marvel Fantastic Four. I want it to be great, and I was really looking forward to this, and I still am. Quite honestly, I'm going to go see it day one, but it's very I don't ignore articles produced by the studios. I don't ignore those, and you shouldn't either.
We could. I mean, I guess we could invite Joe. I'll have to go to Blue Sky. I found the better quality because there's not a lot of good. I can't stand
Blue
when people
Sky?
put.
What the hell? All right, go ahead.
I can't stand when people put watermarks on this stuff like they own it. It's
Yeah.
just like
They
you
own
gotta-
Spy Shots. Okay.
Yeah, it's so
I
weird.
own the drone. I mean, if you own the drone that's over there, okay.
But they don't. They just find footage and they put their watermark first because it gets spread around. It's just annoying. No one's going to subscribe to that person. It's just obnoxious. You didn't make senior nerd. Oh, senior nerd. You're going hot on Senior nerd is going hot on Blue Sky, I see.
Well, all right.
Nobody's talking about Tyrone Magnus. Okay.
So she looks terrific, even in this poor image. She looks great.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be a copyright. I already released. If I did it in the image of the thumbnail, and my other videos are fine. All right, let's watch this here. This is very exciting. I'm so excited about this movie. The other thing it's so excited about is it's only a year after Superman. You're not going to have to wait a long time. That is a difference between Homodiverse and the Gunverse. It's going on all cylinders. You're right. You're going to have Supergirl right there.
Oh my God! Look at her walk. My
yeah.
goodness. Oh golly.
It's great.
Oh my God! Look at those boots, everybody.
I gotta admit, I love boots. I wish Superman had better boots.
Hello, Millie.
What? Okay. You know what?
I agree with you. I agree with you.
This is gonna create great cosplay at conventions for sure.
Oh my!
For the ladies, and everyone assumes if you're progressive or you're PC that the ladies don't want to be sexualized or anything. Sometimes people want to have fun. Why can't we be progressive and sexy too? If she wants to wear those boots and they're made for walking, let her walk.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you're meaning, Sean, there. It's not creepy. Great. It's not creepy.
He looks great, Brucifer. Brucifer, you feature the covers of comic books that with women that look like this, brother. So stop it. Don't try to attack us now.
Listen, my wife used to
wear boots, though, is exactly right, Blue Jay.
Them boots, though. Yeah, my wife used to wear some long boots, and I was like,
good for her. She's a good girl. Good for her.
Yeah. That's a great thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she looks great. I'm happy. I wouldn't be. See,
everybody.
Here's the difference.
I bought boots like that for two different girls I've been with. I've dated.
Here's the difference between me and the Chuds. Okay, if she wasn't wearing boots and a skirt like she is here, would I cry about it every day? No. But now that I see she is, I'm like, hell yeah, right? That's the difference. Am I going to cry about it, whine about it every day? Supergirl doesn't. She didn't last time. Sasha Calle still looked great.
Sasha Calle is terrific. Very attractive.
But there's got to be something said about looking really like the comic book. The Woman of Tomorrow with the boots, the skirt, the long hair.
Fake news.
You can't say that's not exciting.
Listen, everybody scrutinizes the costume. All right.
Sometimes you want to droll too. Sometimes you want to goon too.
And this is fake news from Brucifer. He features these covers for a reason.
Yeah. Melissa had better boots. Gooner's gonna goon. Yeah.
There's gonna be some gooner action, no question. Yeah. But it's okay. Look this is a very good costume for Supergirl. Just forget about the boots and everything. This looks great. She looks like Supergirl.
Yeah. She looks like she's having fun too.
Thank you, Blue Jay, for calling out Brucifer. We love Brucifer, but he's being hypocritical here.
Yeah. There's definitely the male gaze still in comic books. That's another thing where the anti-SJWs are lying to you. There's comics produced all the time that are very curvaceous and sexy.
So
talking about men and women. You know,
So it's funny you mentioned that, Max. I thought that because of the way the Chuds talk, that the comic books had taken that
no,
away.
they're not.
But you know who taught me that that's not true?
A king of nerds.
A gentleman called Kingdom of Nerds who sent me various covers. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, so it's still on there.
Okay. So Sean is saying I can't get behind her gummy look. Oh,
Gummy? What does that even mean?
I don't know. I guess the way she's walking around.
She's just terrific. I could tell. Like she would say, if I was in trouble, I'd want.
I'm telling you right now, this is $1 billion film. This is gonna get like Wonder Woman, like when Wonder Woman hit. I'm just telling you.
So you don't think? Well, hold on, Max.
I know as much as people.
Everybody says I don't call you out. You don't think Superman's going to be $1 billion film?
It might, but I guarantee that Supergirl will, as long as it's a good movie. As long as it's a good movie.
Look at those boots, everybody.
It's gonna get the vibes like when you first saw the Wonder Woman movie. And I'm sorry, everyone that's like crying for Sasha Calle. I'm upset too that she didn't get another shot. But let's be real, she wasn't that exciting as Supergirl. It's not necessarily her fault. They didn't give her a lot to do. But it wasn't a super exciting, fresh vibe of Supergirl. This is a whole Supergirl movie.
So let me tell you, if everybody put yourselves in James Gunn's boots, Sasha Calle was one of the few highlights of that Flash film. She was terrific in it. Okay, I'm not saying she wasn't. But if you were making a Supergirl movie, would you bring the Sasha Calle Supergirl or would you bring this? Come on, be honest.
Hey, Joe, how's it going?
Hey.
Hi and hello, Joe.
Thank you, Joe, for doing that. I do owe you. I'm hoping to pick it up when I visit you. That in the red box.
Yeah, no problem.
Joe, what do you think of this Supergirl leak?
I mean, I'm a little disappointed to see they went back to the skirt. I would have liked if they had kept the long pants, but
Joe, come on.
Otherwise, I mean,
why? Did you not like the original Supergirl film?
Well, it was. You see, it was fine, but that costume isn't very practical. I mean, there's things you learn when you get married, and not being a woman, like I wouldn't have known that a skirt like that is very, very cold. Wouldn't be a comfortable thing.
She's a superhuman.
She doesn't get cold.
Yeah, well, no, apparently they do because Melissa Benoist, who played the role on TV, really complained about the costume. She was not comfortable in that costume. She said it was too cold. She really, really pushed for long pants. And I remember at the time, Christine said, "Oh no, as a woman, that wouldn't be comfortable." And,
the character doesn't get cold.
Let's okay, Joe.
You acknowledge that, right?
I acknowledge that some women say that. Women are not a monolith. Some women like skirts still, and it's not like all women think the same, So, okay, so one character that played Supergirl was like, "I'd rather have pants." She did that. How many episodes? This is a movie,
And my wife said the same thing. My wife said I would rather have pants.
Sure, and I'm sure she would.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's like
your wife isn't from Krypton, Joe.
Yeah, I know, but like there's certain things you learn when you're married that you don't think about. Like when you're a single dude, you wouldn't think about these things. Like, for example, one of the best scenes in Birds of Prey is when they're having a fight and Harley Quinn offers a Black Canary a hair tie. Now, I as a guy never would have thought of that, but I watched it with my wife and my daughters, and they were like, "Yes, that is right on." And I looked at that and I said, "Oh, that's really cool. That's something I wouldn't have thought of." But that resonated with the women in my life. That scene, that moment was a cheer moment for them.
Are you making a joke? This is an alien. A superpowered alien.
Well, here's the
thing.
What,
aliens don't get cold?
No, not from Krypton. They don't.
How do you know?
Well, because Superman lives in a freaking ice palace.
But it's warm in there. Lois even said so.
I would wear a skirt. I would wear a skirt. I'll get one now. I'll wear one if this movie doesn't get it. I'll wear the skirt. I'll wear the Supergirl skirt if this doesn't make $1 billion.
I mean, it looks comics accurate for
Well,
a time, but I felt like we had moved past this.
Here's the
Hang on,
It feels like a
They
step
moved past
backwards.
what?
It feels
Is
it
that
feels like a real
backwards?
step
Like,
backwards.
what do you mean, like progressively, like putting
Like
her in a
this
skirt and a
sexualizes her
pantsuit?
too
Well,
much,
it's
is that
like
what you're saying?
it's like Melissa Benoist had long pants, Sasha Kaye had long pants.
This is
and
where I
this
get
just
in.
feels
This,
like we took a step back.
this is where I get annoyed with the progressive ideas. I
Yeah.
am progressive,
Yeah.
but potentially alluding that going back to a skirt from a pantsuit is not progressive. Women can wear skirts if they want to,
Exactly.
and that's
Yeah.
sexy as hell.
And
I'm not saying-
is automatically sexual.
And I'm not saying pantsuits can't be sexy too. Look at I think Captain Marvel was amazing.
Listen, everybody.
Brie Larson.
I go to court every day, and I see kick-ass women who I'm scared of wearing skirts every freaking day.
And I'm not saying they
nothing wrong
have to
with
wear skirts. I'm just saying I don't like the precedent that they putting a skirt on a woman character is being regressive. I
Right.
don't like that.
That's my point. Yeah.
That's what I don't like. I like women to have choices, and that's across the board. Even choices that were taken away from the last few years. I don't want to impose. I don't want to say you have to wear a skirt. I'm saying if Supergirl wants to wear a skirt, wear a skirt, and I don't think that's negative.
And we'll see.
We'll see.
It feels like a step backwards.
I had Wonder Woman wear hot shorts, for God's sake. She wore hot pants, Joe.
Yeah, but she was armored at least.
Okay.
Like they didn't go
Where's
old
the-
school Linda Carter there.
That's okay.
I mean, but was that? I don't want to speak for you, Joe. Was that something you were alluding to, like her going back to a skirt, maybe not very progressive too?
I'm not talking about progressive. I'm talking about practicality.
A lot of these superhero cube costumes are not very practical.
You know, that's why we progressed and we made a uniform that was more practical, and now we've gone back to a less practical one.
Mm-hmm. Let me see. Wonder Woman can't be in pants. Never. I'm not opposed to either.
Actually, Wonder Woman's been in pants before, and it's worked quite nicely.
Yeah,
we've had different versions of Wonder Woman where she wears long pants.
See, I think W. Necron is a little, progressive, moderate to progressive too. He says you look badass. I like a badass lady in skirt and boots. Come on, if they want to wear it. Okay, now you made it creepy for she's called Supergirl, but she's not necessarily a girl, depending on the context of the movie. Batgirl wears pants, yeah, and she looks great. All right, should we move on to something else?
Good golly. I guess. Jeez, everybody's just combative. My goodness.
I'm just saying if women, I feel like I'm more progressive because I don't think we should tell women what they should wear. They should wear what they want.
Thank you.
We should wear what they want and not assume that they should wear certain things. It's just she looks great to me.
And by the way, as a man who's worn a kilt before,
I'll wear a kilt. I'll wear a skirt.
Worn a kilt. I've gone to a wedding in a kilt. I was one of the groomsmen, and I was required to wear a kilt. And I got to tell you, it was very freeing. I loved it. So if a woman wants to wear a skirt, I totally get why she'd want to do it.
Okay, and look at Senior Nerd. Senior Nerd has a great point. Supergirl is bulletproof like Superman. She'll be naked and it won't affect her, be covered from head to toes like women in the Middle East. He's saying she could be naked and it wouldn't matter.
That
looks
great.
great.
I agree with Senior Nerd.
Yeah, that's a very rare. Wonder Woman looks good there too.
Yeah, that was New 52. She had long pants. She wore long pants in the DC Superhero Girls
what's
cartoons.
your favorite version of Wonder Woman?
Probably Gal Gadot's. If we're talking about,
she's wearing hot shorts.
What's that?
She's wearing those hot shorts, isn't she?
I guess not in the Arctic though.
Mm-hmm.
We never saw her in the Arctic.
Blue Jay says
that's another thing. If we're gonna change it up, if we're gonna have Supergirl, like if she's like in the cold and she's wearing long pants, and then on the beach she's wearing a skirt, okay, maybe. But she also flies. You got to remember she flies.
So you want Supergirl to have seasonal wear?
Yeah, I have seasonal wear, so why shouldn't superheroes?
Well, because the cold doesn't affect them; they're not human. But okay, I get it.
But she also flies. You got to remember, up in the air, up in the upper atmosphere, it's going to get cold. Not to mention what's under that skirt. What's under that skirt? Because she's flying around.
I don't think that's gross, Joe. I don't think about that.
That's something you should think about. That's something
I think that's
atmosphere of space.
That's a reason
Joe.
why. That's
a
reason why. That's a reason why it's unpractical. You need something that's practical, and for a character who's going to take off into the air, a skirt's not really practical.
Why? Because her crotch will show?
Yeah, like, I mean, you're going to have the John Candies from Splash. Like,
okay, so she should change her dress for the male gaze, is what you're saying.
Well, the gays aren't looking at her. They're looking at the dude.
Good for you, Joe. You got me.
You said it. You're the one that said it.
Was that intentional, Joe, that you said it that way? The male gaze, not the gay community. The male gaze, like that's what people have.
But you know what? She's very popular with the male gaze.
Everybody, we love Joe. And
all the gay comic collectors I know read Wonder Woman.
Are you doing a bit? I can't tell if he's doing a bit or if he doesn't.
No. Give him credit.
I'm serious.
No, I know, but I can't tell if you're doing a bit or if you're not getting the gaze.
No. The male gaze joke was a clever joke that he caught quickly. Give him credit.
Okay, all right. I wasn't sure.
That was high level comedy.
All right, that was
amazing.
Serious. Some people think Joe just does
comedy. I worked in a comic book store.
Very impressive.
Okay, hold on. Darn it.
Well, it's just you and I now.
Well, I got to tell you, Joe, that's, some people say, like, I love your dad jokes. I like dad jokes, but I respect a quick wit. I like a good response. And I got to tell you, that might be the best response I could have thought of under those circumstances.
Well, it's true.
Well,
I worked in a comic book store.
Well, what does that got to do with it?
All our gay customers read Wonder Woman.
Is that right? Well,
that was our store.
One you spoke to.
I can't speak for all gay readers, but yeah, in the store I worked in.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I hit the wrong button. I was trying to bring something up here. Okay. This actor, let me do this too here. All right. So I really think we do actually, there's a lot going on with Batman and James Gunn's DCU right now.
All right, let's talk about that. I do want to talk about that.
Okay. Now, unfortunately,
what the hell is that?
What the hell has that got to do with Batman?
I will explain. I will explain. Okay. So, unfortunately, I think Grace Randolph was not cool this week talking about behind the scenes stuff happened with Matt Reeves and suggesting it was similar to something else happen in Marvel. I have heard that there's some issues with the
Reeves. Sorry, Matt, please provide some context because I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so Grace Randolph, I don't want to say re-say what she said. I love Grace and I support women creators.
Yeah, I support women creators too. But she said the thing going on with Matt Reeves is similar to what happened to Chadwick Boseman. And that opened a can of worms. She has a big reach. And lots of people in the scooping community know that there's some private stuff with Matt Reeves and his family, which I don't want to elaborate on.
Right.
That was not cool of Grace. And then it just made a lot more pressure. And then there's also news that the script, even though we heard recently that the script is ready for the Batman 2, it's not ready. And then Pattinson is potentially going on the Dune 3. So a personal family situation, maybe also with not the Batman 2 being ready to shoot, maybe delaying this movie. And I don't like what happened there.
That she released it, or that she
said it on the live stream and it spread pretty quick.
So you think it was insensitive the way she did it?
Yeah, I think the scooping community as a whole agreed not to talk about it too much. But suggesting it's on that level really elevated the talk, and I don't think it helps him very much in this.
That's not nice. I'm sure he didn't want that getting out there. Everybody.
Yeah. And then it elevated too to suggest it's on that level because we all know what happened to Chadwick Boseman.
We don't know, right? And
because people are going to be inquiring. It's give him. I just say I don't want to elaborate any further than that, and give Bat Reeves and his family some space. And if the Batman has to be delayed, I'm okay with that. But the reason this is up is this has been a consistent rumor about James Gunn's Batman. He wants to play Batman, and I think this might be your Batman in James Gunn's version.
Who the hell's this guy? He looks like he just stepped out of a 70s swingers club.
Or like Tony and Tina's wedding or something.
Well, the reason I brought up these pictures are his name's Brandon Sklenar. A lot of people, because of this rumor, saying he doesn't look like Bruce Wayne at all. And then they say, here you go. Oh, excuse me. Fact, this isn't even some fancy AI render. It's literally just his beard shaved and hair dyed black. That's it for these two images of Brandon Sklenar. Now, once I find the image with him actually with the mustache, you'll probably recognize him. He's been in a few projects lately. All right, so here's another image of him. First off, what do you think of potentially this actor as a Bruce Wayne Batman? Do you see it at all, or?
I mean, I haven't seen him act.
I don't know about an unknown being Batman. To be quite honest.
He's popular in Hollywood right now.
He's unknown to us, and we watch movies.
Well, no, I'm totally on board with an unknown. Christopher Reeve was an unknown. I say unknown. If you can get an unknown, always get an unknown.
What about for Batman? Has there been any unknowns who's been cast for Batman?
Not really, and quite frankly, we should. I mean, unknowns work best.
So he was
when you look at the guy, you're able to see the character and not the baggage of every other role they played.
Correct, but again, you're right, Joe. Traditionally, Batman has been a known actor every single time.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find something he's in.
Yeah, that's dyed hair. There's no question about that.
No. Yeah, I don't. Goddamn ad.
Hey, he's fun. He has a good jawline. He looks like he could do it. That's fine. I don't know how good his acting is because I don't recognize him from any.
Well, I'll go over his IMDb. I was trying to find a better picture of him.
I'll give you the one cautionary tale, though. I'm always on board for an unknown, but make sure you do good casting. Make sure you vet the unknown. Make sure you've seen them act and you've rehearsed them and you've screen tested them, because you never want another Clinton Spilsbury. Does anybody remember Clinton Spilsbury?
No.
Clinton Spilsbury was the unknown actor who was cast as the Lone Ranger in the 1980 film The Legend of the Lone Ranger. He was so bad they had to redub his dialogue. I think it was Stacy Keach did all the dialogue in the movie because they dubbed him over because Spilsbury was so bad. He never worked again after that movie. He did that one movie and then... So you never want to have a repeat of that.
Hey, Coach Payne, Christina Payne, my coach on Instagram. I exercised today. So thank you for popping in.
Way to go.
Okay, so he usually has a lot of facial hair. This people might recognize him there. This is him with Blake Lively and Deadpool. What's that actor's name? I forget his name.
Deadpool. Ryan
Reynolds. Okay. So let me get to his IMDb.
Joe, how do you feel about James Gunn's casting decisions in general, based on the movies you've seen?
I mean, I've never seen him cast a role where I've been like, that sucked.
There you go.
I mean, he's generally dependable.
So what Joe just said, everybody, that is when you don't know something and you don't know what somebody's going to do, you have to look at their track record. And James Gunn has a very good track record. We can't dispute that. It's just not disputable. I can't think of any bad casting that he's done. You might thought of something was mediocre, but I can't think of anything bad that he's done.
I think the thing that he's most popular for right now is his IMDb didn't have everything. I had to look somewhere else. So let me bring this up here.
So my point is trusting Gunn until there's a reason not to trust in Gunn.
I will say this: as much as I trust James Gunn, sometimes I do wish we could slip into the alternate universe where we see what another actor would have done. Like, what's his name? Yeah, okay, like if you had the chance, if someone's like, you remember the show Sliders, where they would slide
Sure.
into alternate universes.
Sure.
If someone said to you, "Hey, do you want to slide into the universe where Eric Stoltz did star in Back to the Future?" You'd be interested in watching that. And
Well,
coming
yeah,
back, right?
it's fun, yeah.
Right.
So,
So knowing that Zachary Levi and Dennis from It's Always Sunny, I'm blanking on his name, Glenn Howerton. Zachary Levi and Glenn Howerton were finalists for the role of Star-Lord. Obviously, it went to
Wow, I didn't
Chris
know that
Pratt.
about Glenn Howerton. Wow, okay.
And Chris Pratt is great in the role, but I like Glenn Howerton and I like Zachary Levi, and I would love to see in the alternate universe where they were Star-Lord, what that looked like.
Okay. Well,
I would love to see
let's
it
get
too, but they were
let's
perfect.
get more about Brandon Tyler Sklenar, because I would put this is consistently coming up, just like when Corn Sweat was coming up before they officially announced him. So I think it's highly likely. I would say this rumor for me is probably 75%. You're looking at your DCU
He
Batman.
doesn't even look like the same guy that you had in the other picture.
It is. He just has facial hair. He usually has
Yeah, his
facial hair.
jawline looks
He's
completely
most known
different.
for 1923 with Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren, I believe. So let me read this real quick. Brandon Tyler Sklenar is an American actor who has appeared in films and television since 2011. He's known for his role as Spencer Dutton, Yellowstone prequel 1923, and Atlas Corrigan in the controversial It Ends With Us. Skellner's earliest credits role was in 2011's Cornered, and he was also made guest appearances on shows like Westworld. Oh, Westworld, I watched that, in New Girl. He also appeared in the films Mapplethorpe, Vice, and The Big Ugly. He's a name that's consistently coming up for all the castings lately.
He's in Drop? The guy's in Drop?
Yes.
You want to hear something interesting? I went to see Drop last night.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see Drop last night. I got to the theater. I went to the theater, got to the theater, and on my way to the theater to see Drop, I passed Auditorium 1, Auditorium 2, and it was playing in Auditorium 3. And as I'm passing Auditorium 1, I see they're showing a movie called Freaky Tales, starring Pedro Pascal.
Ooh.
And the logo was like a real 80s looking logo. And I thought, what is this? So I watched the trailer on my phone. I went into Freaky Tales instead of Drop. It was really good. I'm still going to see Drop, but like Freaky
Joe,
Tales.
as your attorney, you've just admitted to a crime. Please,
Why?
no.
How?
Well, I would say for this actor,
you can't see Freaky Tales?
I would say for this actor, he's more well known than Corn Sweat was before he got cast. Because Corn Sweat was in a few projects, including Pearl, and then something else, and then he got cast as Superman.
Fair.
So this guy has I think a bigger history, track record
and
in Hollywood than Corn Sweat did.
What does this film Drop? I'm not familiar with.
What's making you think that he's Drop's that new movie by Chris Landon where the woman goes on a date?
Well,
I will say airdrop.
I will say
the airdrop movie. Oh my God!
My reason that I think
you made the right decision going to the other movie.
My reason for thinking he's going to be Bruce Wayne and Batman, Joe, is the rumors are very similar to when Corn Sweat, and I know you say it's not. If it's a rumor, I don't believe it. But Corn Sweat was a rumor for a long time before James Gunn said anything about it. Even James Gunn even denied it. He's like, I don't know. He would not confirm anything. And this guy he's like one of the go-to names for all these upcoming projects. He's very well received in his 1923, I think, is where he's most popular. And then I don't know about the Drop. I don't know about The Housemaid.
I
I
haven't
have seen
heard
Westworld.
I haven't heard anyone mention his name. I keep hearing the two names I keep hearing rumored are Alan Richson, who I think is wrong for the part, and
Alan Richardson wants it. Yeah.
and Supernatural. What's his name?
And I think
Jensen Ackles.
I
keep hearing
think
him
also James Gunn followed him recently, and I know everyone says that means nothing. It does. It might mean nothing. It could mean something.
That Supernatural show is very popular amongst like the 20 somethings, isn't it?
Oh, he was he also in Twister's fourth? Alan is I wouldn't say that.
No, Alan Richson's a great actor. I don't think he's right for Batman, but he's
But
really good.
I'm all for him being Batman. It's different. It's got a different vibe. He's fresh enough to me. I do want to eventually see 1923. I haven't watched that series. I like westerns. I like Harrison Ford. I like Helen Mirren. You know,
I agree with Rational. This is this guy looks. First of all, nothing about him says Bruce Wayne. I mean, maybe he's a good actor, but nothing about him gives that.
I
vibe.
think he potentially with that leather jacket. Maybe he was in that movie with that recent movie, The Bike Riders. I don't know. He might have been in that too.
I mean, I know Drop. I haven't seen it yet, but I know like everyone's been raving about that film, saying it's like phenomenal. So I don't know. Is he the boyfriend in that? Is he the one that she's on the date with that she has to kill? I don't know. I didn't see the movie.
Hey, Matt, now that you've learned that Zachary Levi was up for the part of a Star-Lord, how do you think that would have gone?
Oh God! Thank God, Chris Pratt. Although I'm kind of Chris Pratt's gone kind of stale for me lately, but when he was first cast as Star-Lord, no, but when he was cast as Star-Lord, he was fresh to the Hollywood, like he was in Hollywood, but he was a chubby guy on a sitcom, and I give him the utmost respect for getting in shape and really taking that role and running with it and building a career off that role. You know, he could have just been that. He could have been Chris Pratt. He could have made a whole career off being the funny chubby guy from Parks and Rec, but he didn't want just that, and he became a movie star.
Yeah, Chris Pratt is fantastic, and he's great in the role. But I think Levi would have excelled with it too, and I think Glenn Howerton would have excelled with it. I could see all three of them in that part.
Okay, let me get to Rational's super chat. Thank you, Rational, for
Shazam at all.
Supporting the channel with this way. It really helps. We really appreciate it. $5. Thank you. Batman had a son in Brave and the Bold, so this actor is too young to be the older father Batman. I have gone on the record to say that I don't know if they're necessarily going to do Brave and the Bold if Batman comes in the DCU. Maybe.
They've already said.
I know what they said.
Yeah, it's Damien. They're doing Damien.
We'll see.
So
we'll see.
Okay, so
he's 34, this actor.
Well, that's a good point, though. He's right about that. So let me ask everybody a question. Now, I've had a theory that James Gunn is forced to tolerate the Matt Reeves Batman universe. And he can't use Batman because of the Matt Reeves universe. And it's a success. You know what I mean? So is James Gunn kind of happy if Batman doesn't get made?
I don't think he's happy. I think this guy has a totally different vibe than Robert Pattinson is another reason I like it.
He also is working with Matt. Apparently, he and Matt Reeves get along really well.
I'm sure
they've been working on some property. Degrassi said that there's a lot that Matt Reeves was working on for the DCU. So,
right, but Matt Reeves sadly is occupied right now.
Apparently, he's sick. I heard that.
You don't want to say that.
This is why I don't like what Grace did.
It wasn't. I don't watch Grace. Everyone's talking about this. It was on the John Campia show. They were talking
it's spread
about
because of Grace. That's where it originated from.
Well, how would she know?
I'm just telling you, Joe. That's how it made the news. That's why John Campia was covering is because she opened her mouth.
I don't believe that.
No,
because she doesn't know shit, and they were saying they were acting like that was real.
Lots of people.
Knowledge. I know, but Matt chooses not to talk about that kind of stuff on his channel.
Yeah.
The
Scooper community has known something about Matt Reeves, and they said, "Please give him his space." And she opened her mouth.
The Scooper community knows two things: Jack and shit. And Jack just left.
For this type of thing, I actually respect what the Scooper community did on this. They've known for quite some time. They actually know exactly what's going on.
How would they know?
Okay, so we don't
Matt,
want
Matt Reeves. Matt Reeves told them. They don't know. They don't know.
So anyway, so there's a delay, and it's sort of like it keeps getting pushed back. It's like a soft delay. Are we getting to a point where James Gunn, he wants the DC universe, right? He's changing the DC universe. He's making it brighter. He's making it more accessible. And the biggest property in the DC universe is Batman. It's not Superman. It's Batman. So, in my mind, again, James Gunn doesn't want anything bad to happen to Matt Reeves, obviously. But there's some sense of relief because now he gets Batman. Now he gets to use Batman into his plans and what he wants to do. So I think he's just waiting for that. And these little leaks right now for different Batmans being cast, this is an indication that we're not going to see this Matt Reeves Batman 2 with Robert Pattinson. And Robert Pattinson being bookmarked for that article that came out that said he's going to be in Dune 3 and it's going to interfere. I think this is going to be a slow cancel. That's my theory. My sources at Warner Brothers have not confirmed this, but that's my theory. We're going to see a slow cancel of this.
I don't see that happening.
Kennedy style, and then we're going to get a new Batman.
I don't see that happening. It's too popular.
Yes, like Blade, Cal. Like Blade.
I don't know. I don't think it's going to get canceled. I think it's going to be delayed for quite some time.
The other option is that James Gunn takes over the Robert Pattinson Batman.
I don't think he's going to do
that. That would be bad.
He's busy working on his Batman.
I think they're going to be
that dark Batman.
He's busy working on Brave and the Bold.
I think they should give Matt Reeves space to come back if he can.
Well, to be nice. You're right.
And, be respectful, just like they were not with Zach. They didn't give Zach time to come back. The reason Zach was kicked off is they wanted to release it and they didn't want to delay.
DC is fighting.
Also, they didn't want Zach.
That's true too.
Because of Batman v Superman.
No, but after a family tragedy, they did not give him time to come back. They wanted it. The story was they wanted it out by a certain time to get those bonuses, and they wanted it 90 minutes or something for bonuses too, or the runtime too.
So,
they never in a million
Batman,
years would put out a 4-hour movie.
Yeah,
I don't think James Gunn wants the dark, rounded DC that we've seen in the past. I think he wants the bright, happy, attractive, buy the toys kids DC that
he wants it comics accurate.
Yeah, right. So the Robert Pattinson Matt Reeves Batman does not fit into that scheme, does it? Right?
But it's being billed as an Elseworlds.
Okay, but Batman is a big character. And I know there's a theory that they're going to make two Batmans, an Elseworld Batman and then a James Gunn Batman. I don't think they want that either. But, again, these are all just theories. Just thoughts, everybody.
Yeah. Let's trying to see what else we could talk about real quick. Man, this Brandon Sklar just keeps popping up in everything.
I'm not familiar. Who's that?
That's the guy we just talked about for Batman.
I never heard of him until you mentioned him.
They want to do a spinoff about his character, 1944. Everything we know about Yell's 1944.
So Sam DeJan reviews. You're right. They can't cancel it because Penguin was a hit. But if Matt Reeves is not able to fulfill his obligations, my point is, will that give James Gunn a kind of relief because he can take the most valuable DC property and take it for himself? DC
here's the thing. No, here's the thing. They're it's just going to push it back. That's all it's going to do is push it back because from what John Campea was saying, Matt Reeves is okay. I mean, he's apparently a little some kind of health thing, but he said it's nothing serious. He's going to be fine. So they just need to wait until he's ready. And if anything, that's good that's good for James Gunn, because I've always said the Batman movies are unfortunate because they're a hit. And that's a good thing for Warner Brothers. That's a good thing for the theaters. But it's not the right time for Elseworld stories. We need to put a firm foundation on what James Gunn is doing. And once you have that firm foundation, then you can kind of loosen the reins and do some Elseworld stuff. But it's kind of not the right time for it. So if they can delay the Batman 2, that's probably better for everybody.
So you're thinking like build the universe around the
It'll help. It'll help. It's just it's sad that there's issues with that. It's not coming out as soon as
And God
we would
bless
like.
him. God bless his
But-
family and all
yeah,
that. Stuff.
But there, it does also give James Gunn's universe time to breathe and start.
That's an interesting point, Joe. Like maybe James Gunn builds it up more around bringing Batman in. That brings more excitement in at some point. All right, it's interesting.
And here he is, Brandon Skellner again in the drop. What you're talking about, I haven't even heard about this. I'm just saying he's a name that keeps coming up. I think he is going to be Batman. I don't have.
What version of Batman is he going to be? So that implies you think that the Pattinson Batman is dead.
No, I don't think he's replaced. I think he's going to be James Gunn's Batman.
Yeah, we're getting two Batmen.
So you only
we
think
get
they're
the
gonna have two
Batman
Batmans,
2,
yes.
and we're getting Brave and the Bold, which
So
is
both of you think they're going to have two Batmans.
I think
we know that they say
you
that's
don't need to have two Batmans at the same time. Now that there's some issues with the Batman 2, you just wait, introduce the other Batman, and then if something happens and it works out that Matt Reeves comes back, then do Batman 2.
I think both of you. Well, okay, that's interesting, Max. So they put this quote unquote second Batman movie out, and then maybe if the Matt Reeves happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I don't think they want two Batmans. I don't think two Batmans makes sense. I think that confuses consumers. It confuses normies. It doesn't confuse you, Joe. It doesn't confuse people watching this. But
I think it's something Warner Brothers desperately would want. Batman's like one of their cash cows. If they could get more Batman, I think they're all for it. I don't think this moment in time, 2025, is the right time to have two Batmen, because you need to put down a foundation.
Oh, for God's sake, Isaac.
but-
I love you, but come on, man.
A couple
Believing stupid. I like rumors a lot. Half of the 50% of rumors become true. Joe disagrees with me on that.
And Isaac, brother, we're not just believing rumors.
Corn Sweat was a rumor, and I was all for it.
We're discussing
Corn Sweat was the top runner for a long time. I forget who else they were talking about with Corn Sweat. There was one other guy that kept coming up.
Corn Sweat wasn't really a rumor. No, he wasn't. They announced that he had auditioned for the role. They said that this guy, and this guy auditioned for the role. None of them were finalized. They didn't say we got our guy, but they were like, "Oh yeah."
Even before they came out with who was auditioning, Corn Sweat's name was coming up. I think probably because he said he wanted to be Superman too. He said that way back. He wanted to play Clark.
Joe, did you take your daughters to see Snow White?
Yeah. Kira's seen it twice, and I saw it alone on my birthday because I really wanted to go to the movies on my birthday. So I saw it alone on my birthday. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. And I knew Christine and the girls would go crazy for it. So one day when Jackie was at her dad's, I took Christine and Kira. They loved it. And then Jackie came home and said she wanted to see it, and she hadn't seen it yet. And Christine and Kira were like, well, we want to see it again. So we all went again and took Jackie. So it's like, I've seen it 3 times. Kira and Christine have seen it twice, and Jackie's only seen it once, but everybody loved it.
Interesting.
Your kids don't want to see Minecraft, do they?
Absolutely not. They have no interest. And in fact, Jackie has less interest now because she's heard the stuff. Did you hear somebody? We were talking about this last night when I went to see the movie.
Yeah, Blue Jay brought a live chicken into the theater.
Freaky Tales. When we went to see Freaky Tales, I went into the theater. It was trashed. And I came out and I said, let me guess, Minecraft was playing before this. They go, yep. And I'm like, well, because it looked like garbage. And my theater's usually meticulously clean. And we started talking about what's been going on with these screenings. They talk because different theaters, they talk to different theater owners. They said it didn't happen in their theater, but somebody brought a Molotov cocktail to a screening.
No.
Yeah. Someone brought a Molotov cocktail to a
Well,
screening.
that's too much, everybody. A live chicken is one thing, but a Molotov cocktail, that's too much.
They said people have been throwing rotisserie chickens at the screen, like full rotisserie chickens.
Oh God.
It's insane. And now Regal, I have a screenshot somewhere. Regal announced, because they've been going up and telling people you need to stop screaming a chicken jockey. It's upsetting. It's upsetting the normies who were just there to see a movie. That the kids are doing. Apparently, it's a TikTok thing, but they all scream chicken jockey, and it pisses people off. So they're like, "You got to stop doing that." So now they're having chicken jockey screenings where people are encouraged to scream it, so that they can root the people out who want to do that. Like, go to this screening.
That's a smart way around it.
No, the director said he's fine with it. He's making all that bank. That's why he's fine with it.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to clean the theater afterwards.
True.
The theater staff is not happy with it. Trust me. I've talked to them. They're not pleased.
Think Faust Out Loud just came in. All right.
What does he mean, Nick, the Fantastic Four? Fantastic Four is still happening. What?
No, it's the comments from John. We covered that at the beginning of the show. I don't want to bring it up again just because I want to get to mailbag and the voicemail.
Well, what is it? So I can look it up.
Joseph Quinn. Joseph Quinn says that Johnny Storm's no longer a womanizer. I had some criticisms of his comments. It's in the private chat here.
Okay, well, nothing wrong with that.
And
one of the best decisions the new Night Court made was not making Dan Fielding a womanizer, because the guy's pushing 80, and that really would have been creepy. Like to have
he was still in it.
No, it's wrapping up its third season. Yeah, John Larroquette's still there.
3 seasons. Wow.
It's very good. It's not as good as the new Frasier, though, which is disappointing because the new Frasier got canceled.
Where is the new Night Court showing on?
NBC.
Oh, regular TV.
But one of his rules about coming back was he was like, Dan Fielding can't be a womanizer anymore. He's like, I'm in my mid-70s. If you have me hitting on young women, it's going to be really, really creepy. So
some people maybe
they kind of dropped that aspect of his character. Which was the right move. Also, he's a widower, so it's like he was married. He was happily married, and he lost his wife. So I think, it works. Story-wise, it works that he wouldn't be a womanizer anymore.
Okay,
what's that?
Is Bull still alive?
He just died about a year ago. Right now, the only 2 cast members from the original show that are still alive are John Larroquette and Marsha Warfield. And Marsha Warfield isn't a regular, but she makes a lot of guest appearances.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay. Well, we have one voicemail, and I do have some very unfortunate news for the gun nuts, Joe. Today marks the day. Are you ready for this, Joe?
Mm-hmm.
Today marks the day where the gun nuts become just as cringy as the Snyder Bros.
That's impossible. There's no such thing as cringe.
No, you said I prove cringe exists.
No,
this is disturbing.
What? He's got dolls. What's disturbing?
No, that's not dolls. Some gun nut photoshopped James Gunn holding Corn Sweat and what's the other actor's name? That's Lex.
I think those are dolls. I think he's playing with the toys.
Yeah, they actually, he has a mic, and he didn't really have dolls in this image. They actually photoshopped it I'm playing with toys, and it's very creepy. And this is as creepy as Snyder Bros saying Zactivated or Zach's the Blueprint. This is disturbing.
I don't find it disturbing. I mean, he's the author of a wonderful, by the way, book.
I don't get it. What's the implication?
Mm-hmm.
He wrote a wonderful book called The Toy Collector. He is into toys.
Yeah.
No, I don't get it. What's the insult, Max? What am I missing?
Yeah, I don't see it either.
It's just
He's
great.
like,
It's weird.
well, just holding dolls.
Okay,
He's whole.
his
Corn sweat.
characters dolls he's playing with.
Yeah.
Actually, I want a creator to think of his characters as dolls because
Okay.
it's a universe they're creating. Like it's a fake universe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. I don't get how that's an insult.
All right. I thought it was pretty creepy.
Good God,
right.
these anti-gun people. My goodness.
Man, what
Hey.
me? I'm not anti-gun.
I mean, look, I could do that too.
Yeah, let's do it, Joe.
Okay.
What do you got there, Joe?
Very, very creepy.
Holiday Mandalorian and Holiday Wookiee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
These are Christmassy.
right around the springtime. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Is it as disturbing as Snyder tweeting a picture of Batman eating out Batgirl? Well, hey, I didn't mind that.
Anytime Batman and Batgirl are put in a sexual situation, it's creepy because he's like a father figure to her.
Not every incarnation.
Hang on, did that really happen?
It was, first of all, it was Catwoman.
I thought it was Catwoman. Yeah,
It was Catwoman.
It was Catwoman. That's what I was thinking. And there's nothing wrong with that either. Yeah, it was Catwoman. So, because Batman is a vigilante, he's a billionaire, he can't take care of a lady?
Right, they're two people in love. What they do behind closed doors, that's their business, you know?
Yeah. All right, so no one cares about that. Let's bring up the voicemail.
Sorry, Max, I don't.
I mean, I was being silly too. I wasn't like just completely serious. All right. How's that disturbing? I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. Moving on.
Hey, look, Max, I got my dog pool shirt on.
Oh, that's awesome.
Look at her laying there. I'm gonna give her a belly rub.
But I got to tell you, everybody, like as far as comic book movies, Deadpool Wolverine was the best movie of 2024.
Oh, I totally disagree.
What was?
I enjoyed it, but I actually found it to be quite disappointing. I don't even think it was the best superhero movie of 2022. Well, though what was, I'd have to think about.
Yeah,
But for me, the best movie was Wicked.
No, I'm asking you the best superhero movie of 2020.
Best superhero movie? What other superhero movies came out that year? Actually, it might have been by default because I don't think there were many other superhero movies, but I did find it to be a disappointing film.
Mm.
Right. Were there any other superhero? It was like Deadpool, Madam Web. No, you know what? I think I'd go with Venom 3.
Venom 3.
God bless you, Joe. God bless you.
All right, well, let's listen to our one voicemail today. I guess no one wants $20 at the end of April. All right, let's play this.
Hey, Max, I have a solution for your problem. Just don't watch Fantastic Four.
Don't watch it.
Oh, adios.
Boo! Boo, Senior Nerd. I think he wants to lose out on a 20 again. That was a weak mic drop, Senior Nerd.
I'm sorry.
What's the
Well,
problem?
I think if you don't like it, it's not the right argument.
What is the problem that you're trying to solve?
I don't like that Joseph Quinn, and you're going to disagree with me, went on the record saying this version of Johnny is less callous with other people's feelings, and hopefully there's a self-awareness about what's driving that attention-seeking behavior.
Why is that a bad thing?
Because Johnny's, just like you say, what's Nathan Fillion's character? Guy Gardner's kind of an ass. Johnny Storm is kind of an ass. He's there when you need him, but he is callous and arrogant and aggressive and a lot of stories.
Yeah, but he's saying there should be a self-awareness to why he's like that. That's not like we know why Guy Gardner's like that.
Okay, that doesn't. It's possible to still do a good Joe. That doesn't like scream to me that they're going for the things I like about Johnny Storm, and it just feels like they're going for a different vibe with him, and they're going to be super PC with him. And I want us to be progressive, but not all characters have to be super PC in the movie industry right now.
I kind of want to be a kind of a jackass and trigger the Thing. That's one of my favorite interactions, is when the Thing and Johnny are really going at each other, and Johnny is just being a complete jerk to the Thing. And then eventually, when stuff goes down with Doctor Doom, the Human Torch that is there to save the Thing and be there for him, his brother. But they still drive each other crazy.
I always say the Fantastic Four is the family sitcom of the Marvel Universe.
That's fair.
It's and that's part of the reason, the two movies from with Chris Evans and Michael Chiklis. Those are great movies, and people give them a lot of shit because I think they weren't very serious films. They were very, very light, and the tone was a little silly. But that's what the Fantastic Four is supposed to be. Like, I remember when that came out and Batman Begins came out the same summer, Fantastic Four and Batman Begins, and people would watch both and they go, Batman, they go, this is more like it. And I'm like, it's a very different property with a very different tone. They really captured that family dynamic of the bickering, brother-in-law, and they got it right. I didn't really like their rendition of Doctor Doom, but
I'm not saying it.
Where's that coming from?
Somebody's leaving the mic drop.
Yeah. We'll have it shortly. I'm not saying it can't work. It doesn't give me a lot of confidence that they're going to go for a lot of the laughs and the fun that I got from, for example, Chris Evans' Johnny Storm, which I love that movie. I think that's the best part of the movie, is the Thing and Johnny Storm. Those are the two characters I like. Those are my favorite Fantastic Four, those two.
I have my sacramental candle here.
That's okay. That's a little bit much for Jim Henson.
Don't be jealous.
I'm not jealous.
Happy Easter, everybody.
Happy Easter. I remember the Saturday night before Easter, many years ago, we were at my friend's house and we would all gather together to watch, we would get together and watch cheesy movies and laugh at them. And the movie we were watching was a German horror film called Violent Shit 2, Mother Hold My Hand. And there was a scene where the killer, Carl the Butcher Jr., was chasing someone, and the guy pooped himself. And Carl said in German with English subtitles, "Panzschitter, Panzschitter, now I will make you eat it." And we're watching this, and it turned midnight, which meant it was now Easter Sunday. And my friend said, "Happy Easter, everyone." So to this day, every Easter Sunday, I text my friend Brendan and say, "Happy Easter. Did you watch Violent Shit 2 last night?" It's become like an Easter tradition between us.
That's a wonderful tradition.
Mm-hmm. Well, Isaac says, yeah, because they don't want to copy Chris Evans' version. I understand that. You want to have your own vibe. But nothing about the promotional materials has really got me excited about Johnny Storm yet. There hasn't been anything. I think there's.
Why did they go public with this?
Yeah,
why did they go a variety with this?
I think the stuff with Invisible Woman and
Herbie
Reed Richards looks good. All right, so let's play this new voicemail. Here we go.
Sweet Maria, it's a mic drop verse.
Oh, wow.
Max, Voltaire, and Joe. I gotta say, it's Larry, by the way.
We know it's Larry.
Max is correct that Johnny Storm should be slightly problematic.
Yes.
And Joe's right. He said it's a family dynamic. He's the crazy brother.
Yeah.
The troublesome, rebellious, immature brother who is still there for everyone in the end. And this Minecraft stuff is just out of control. Live chickens. That's just it's just crazy. It's like, I heard people compare it to Rocky Horror Picture Show, but it's like,
no, Rocky Horror Picture Show, everyone's having fun together. Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's about it. Love you guys. Give me that $20, baby.
Oh, wow. I think he's a front runner for the 20 this month. What do you think?
We love you, Larry.
Yeah, Larry. Wow, Johnny Storm didn't give me a boner, Max. I would have liked that. I would have liked something. If he gave me a boner, that would be something that would be better than what we got. Absolutely. If I get a boner from it, I'm sold. Absolutely. I felt nothing down there.
I do like Bruce's
Nothing.
use of wah.
Yeah.
Like, I respect that.
Wow, I didn't get a boner. Yes.
Wah, I didn't get a boner. Wah.
Right. I mean, I kind of did with Chris Evans in the first Fantastic Four. Certain scenes.
I respect that.
Yeah.
That's a good argument by Bruce.
No boner
Bonner.
for this. Hold on, let me bring up a visual aid, please.
I wish you would.
Yeah.
No, Max does not suck, Senor Nerd. And you don't think Max sucks, or else you wouldn't be here, brother.
There's no boner material here. Nothing.
This is how Max wants to feel.
I don't think I've ever been this excited. You're excited? Feel these nipples.
Absolutely. Yes, Joe. I want my nipples to be excited. I want to be completely excited for Johnny Storm. No excitement in any area or region of my body. Nothing. I feel nothing for Johnny Storm.
Do you want me to show you something that will make you feel something?
Sure.
All right. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Voltaire, are you ready to feel something?
I want to feel something down there, Joe.
Yeah. No.
Oh my God, Joe, not this.
No, God.
AI kissing. Oh, how did you
No.
do that? You of all people.
Joe, I told you not to send me that again. That is the most disturbing. I hate AI. I hate AI.
That wasn't AI. I had access to a DeLorean.
No.
No. So I don't have a problem with AI, but this AI using it to make guys kiss or make people kiss.
No, I don't
I
even
am
mind.
against
Listen,
both of those people consented, I promise you.
I don't even
Nonetheless,
mind. I don't
it
even
didn't
mind
really
guys
happen.
kissing. I don't like seeing guys make out with themselves.
No, Max, you don't like seeing people kissing.
Especially Joe making out with himself. I don't want to see
that's
Voltaire
weird.
making out with yourself either.
No, nobody wants to see that.
Don't worry, I kept it family friendly. You didn't see what
Guys
happened
kissing
next.
is okay.
I don't want to
I
know.
jammed them.
I don't want to know the other version of that. Ghost Bumble says,
Joe,
"Where
how
the
did your
hell's
wife
Bleach?"
feel about that?
She loved it. She saw it and she broke out laughing and then just said,
My
"There's
wife
something
would
seriously wrong with
divorce
you."
me if I made one of those and sent it to her. She'd be like,
I know
What is wrong with you?
Christine expects that kind of stuff from me.
no. All right, time for the mailbag, and then we'll call it a night. Okay. So this is Jacob McKenzie. Thank you, Jacob McKenzie. Thoughts on Tom Hiddleston breaks his silence on returning as Loki in Avengers Doomsday. It's been an extraordinary chapter of my life playing Loki, and it's not over yet. Well, of course, the Loki series is one of the best on Disney Plus. I don't know if I necessarily want him to be back, though. He's had so much Loki. Loki's great. I'm not opposed to him coming back, but what's your thoughts? You want more Loki? Voltaire?
I think that Marvel is trying to go in a direction of bringing back the characters that have worked, and Tom Hiddleston is one of those characters that has worked. So it would behoove them to bring Tom Hiddleston back.
Mm-hmm.
As long as they could redeem themselves for Loki season 2.
I love Loki.
I mean, I didn't hate Loki season 2. It's just I thought it was kind of boring.
See, I differ from both of you. I loved it.
Okay.
Loved it. Better than season 1.
Thoughts on George Lucas' original 1977 theatrical cut of Star Wars: A New Hope will be screened publicly for the first time in decades at the BFI Film on Film Festival on June 12th. Attendees will also be able to view material from the original continuity script for the film, which includes rare on-set Polaroids, annotations, and deleted scenes. That's great. Is George okay with this? Like, he's agreeing to this? That's also awesome. You know?
He doesn't really have any say anymore.
No, he does have a say. When he sold it, he did have a say in that. So I'm assuming that he's okay with them showing the original uncut. But I'm not against the special editions either. There's things I like, things I don't like. I actually think The Empire Strikes Back, I would prefer to watch the special edition of that. It's like perfect. There's some issues in A New Hope in Return of the Jedi that I didn't like.
If I could go back to the theatrical cut of Episode 4, New Hope, I would be very, very happy. But there is one thing that they added in the special edition that I was all for and I still kind of love.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the Jabba scene. And the reason is because I knew about that Jabba scene as a little kid before they re-added it. I saw like a making of, and they showed like that, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we had Jabba the Hutt, and we had to remove him because we didn't have the technology." So they talked about it, and it was one of those things that as a kid, I always was like, I knew that scene existed and wanted to see it. It was something I really wanted to see.
Even though the scene wasn't that great, I loved it too.
Yeah. No, I liked it. I had fun with it, but I do want both. I like that there's versions. Like, I like that people could pick and choose. I like the original. I like the special editions. I want them both to be available. I like
that would be fine, but the problem is the original isn't available right now. I mean, you can find bootlegs. You can find bootlegs, but
no, there is an original DVD. I was thinking about buying.
Yeah, but it's pillar boxed. Like, it's not made even to play on HD TVs. If you can find the despecialized editions, they're really good.
Yeah, I might just.
I have to disagree with you that they care about George Lucas's feelings, because they absolutely do not.
Yeah, George Lucas doesn't have any say in it anymore. I do think they try to keep him happy, because he's still a stock owner. He's one of the biggest stockholders in Disney. As we just saw recently when he came to Bob Iger's defense, when that, what's his name? That guy tried to take over the board.
Yeah.
It came out. So I do think as a stockholder and a big stockholder, they don't want to like piss him off, but he doesn't really have any say anymore.
As far as his story ideas, they don't give a crap.
No, he admitted himself. He said his story ideas weren't commercial.
And he sold it. He has no right to have them give a crap about it.
Right. He said, like, he even said when they went a different direction with the sequels, he said, well, they bought my outlines and I thought they were going to use them, but my outlines were like all about the midi-chlorians, so they probably weren't very commercial. So it's like he got it. He may not have been thrilled, but he got it.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I'm still deciding if I want to get the DVD that Joe said it doesn't look good on HD TVs, or the despecialized bootlegs.
Hang on, let me show you the ones I got, because they look really nice, the artwork and everything.
Sure. Thoughts on Simu Liu found out that Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen were in Avengers Doomsday during the live stream. I was like, oh, each one of these people is somebody that I'll meet on set and ultimately work with. I think that's such an incredible thing. That's cool. I'm very excited to see Shang-Chi come back. I like Simu Liu. All right, let me see this. Yeah, that looks nice. They did artwork on the disc and everything, yeah.
Yeah, it looks...
how much did you spend on this?
I think like $30 for the trilogy.
Okay.
That's money well spent.
Yeah. I mean, they have them up so you can, like...
Does the Mahoning have a print of the original Star Wars?
I don't think so. I don't know. I should...
Are they not allowed to do it?
That's a tough one, because don't forget, they do have to get licensed to show them.
Yeah.
And
he said something about if they had the film...
Right.
Not the,
but the thing is, the 35 millimeters, that if you contact Disney and say we need a 35 millimeter of Star Wars, they're going to send you the special edition.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't contact Disney. I would try to find on the private market.
Yeah, but it needs to be licensed still. You can't just show it. Disney needs to. They gotta license it still. So.
Because that would be great if we could find out if they're legally allowed to do the trilogy and do a New Hope, Empire, and Return all one night.
I know a theater near me within the past decade. I made a big deal about they were doing the Star Wars trilogy, the full original trilogy, not the special editions. And they had 35 millimeter prints. And it was a big deal, and people were getting very excited about it, and they sold a lot of tickets. And then Disney shot the whole thing down and said, you're not allowed to show those. And they had to refund people and cancel the whole event.
So, Joe, I have a question for you. You famously called Andor and Boar,
Yeah.
and are you going to watch the next season?
It's a good question. I never finished the first season. I made it 7 episodes, and I bailed after 7 episodes. I was so bored by it. However, season 2 is bringing in my favorite character from Rogue One, K2SO, played by my boy, Alan Tudyk.
Mm.
So I
So
might
Alan
watch.
Tudyk, this Tudyk character, is going to
Tu-
get to watch it.
Two dicks? What?
Yeah, those are
And Alan Tudyk has a great resume of playing robots. He was
Go
the
ahead.
robot in
What has he done?
he was the robot in the Will Smith film I, Robot.
Okay.
He was
Oh, I didn't know that.
K2SO in Rogue One. And he is the robot in the extended Superman trailer that we just saw the other day that helps Superman get his powers back with putting the yellow rays on him.
Hmm. That's
So
cool.
based on this Tudyk fella, are you going to watch this new Andor? People want to know, Joe.
Maybe.
That might be the special sauce that you start liking it again. Because K2SO was pretty cool in Rogue One.
Everybody, this is a man who loved the Joker movie, and he's still not sure if he's going to watch Andor 2.
Yeah. Well, Andor 1 was... Andor 1 is the only live-action Star Wars I've ever bailed on. As shitty as the prequels are, I've made it through the prequels. Like, I've seen episode 1, The Phantom Menace, more than once, and that is a truly terrible movie. And yet I've seen it more than once. Couldn't make it through Andor.
Well, this is great conversation. I do want to end before 2-hour mark, and I want to get some more mailbag questions in here. Go check out Joe's Redbox video and some of his other reviews lately too, for sure. Go support Joe. And let's see here. Thoughts on Tom Hardy on whether a crossover with Spider-Man would be the only way he'd return as Venom? No, I love Venom, and I had a great time doing that, so no. So he's open to doing another one, I guess.
I always said that when they said it was the last one, that I'm like, that's BS. There's going to be another one. Venom's too popular.
They make money off of it for whatever reason.
Yeah, people love Venom.
Thoughts on Paul Walter Hauser says Inside Out 3 might be in the works. I heard we might be doing another one. It made a lot of money.
Go see Paul Walker Hauser in his new movie, the Luckiest Man in America. Very good movie.
Okay.
Good title.
Thoughts on a new quote from Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane. Since I conveniently brought up how imitating was it to follow up in the footsteps of great actors who played Lois Lane, you did very conveniently walk right into that one. Intimidating a little, but intimidating might be the wrong word. I was really inspired by how many different versions of this character have existed, and it feels true to the comics to have different on-screen interpretations. Lois has maybe changed more than any other character in the history of comics. The way she looks, what she's prioritizing from version to version. There's also tons of different versions of her backstory. She becomes Superwoman. Sometimes the Red Tornado is another character she's been. I was most familiar with Margot Kidder's Lois Lane. That's my favorite. I grew up completely obsessed with Christopher Reeve's Margot Kidder Superman films, but I also love Amy Adams, and I've had the chance to run into a couple of times since taking the mantle. So I know we're standing on the shoulders of giants, and hopefully we can make the fans proud. She is great at PR.
Okay, so
Rachel Brosnahan.
she's not great. Whoever is running it at Warner Brothers, they're telling her what to say, and that's perfect, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we discuss articles like the Human Torch article today. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Remember when all the crybabies got angry at her because she said she praised Bitsy Tulloch as Lois? She was like, "Oh yeah, I'm picking up the mantle from Bitsy Tulloch," and they're like, all the Snyder Bros were like, "No, Amy Adams," and it's like, yeah, Bitsy Tulloch literally is the last person who played the role. Like, she just finished.
Yeah, I didn't know that one. Rachel Brosnahan crossed the board though. Aces. I'm pretty happy with everything, and I'm really excited to see her as Lois. Thoughts on Will Smith says Michael B. Jordan won't be his son in I Am Legend 2. Michael B. Jordan's character currently is ahead of a new settlement, so there's a settlement in Connecticut. That's interesting. I think everyone thought and assumed it was going to be a son.
I thought we knew it wasn't.
Well, now I do.
Yeah.
Kate Bosworth's Lois Lane. I mean, I guess.
Oh, I liked Bosworth a lot. I thought she was really good. Do you know she goes by Catherine Bosworth now? Like I saw a movie and she was listed as Catherine Bosworth. I checked. Like that's.
Oh, you said I didn't like. I'm sorry, I misread that.
Oh, I disagree there. I thought she was great.
Jenna Ortega reveals why she left the Scream franchise. It had nothing to do with pay or scheduling. The Melissa stuff was happening, was kind of falling apart. If Scream 7 wasn't going to be with that team of directors and those people I fell in love with, then it didn't seem like the right move for me and my career at the time. And she had a lot of options at the time, let's be honest. Jenna Ortega is very popular right now. It's not like...
I have such mixed feelings on Scream 7. There's a part of me that feels like that movie doesn't deserve my money because of what they did to Melissa Barrera. But at the same time, they got Kevin Williamson to direct the film, and it's his franchise. He's the creator. He's the guy who made it up, and he's never directed a Scream movie before. So it's like, God, talk about mixed feelings on that one.
If it's a good movie, go see it. Don't worry about all the...
Well, you won't know if it's a good movie until you see it.
Yeah, don't... I mean... If you feel like don't worry about all this other baggage. There's still actors getting paid for it's still helping the industry. I don't like what happened to them either, but you know what?
I don't like rewarding producers that do something that crooked though. Like it was so bad what they did to her.
But in the
What about
question,
Jamie Kennedy? How do you feel about him, Joe?
Jamie Kennedy? I mean, well, they killed him off in the second one.
He does a lot of podcasts about this about the Scream films.
All right. And thoughts on Tony Gilroy on the impact Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni had on Andor. Online people try to drive a wedge all the time between us and Favreau and Filoni. It's horrible what people say. It's terrible. And the truth is we don't have a show without them. They gave us the muscle to go. Awesome. I like Tony Gilroy. Andor is some of my favorite Star Wars right now. So thank you, Jacob. Thank you, everyone in there. And while we're talking about Star Wars, we have an update. I didn't realize it was coming up so quick. Here we go. Star Wars Celebration, Japan 2025. This guy's back. Great.
Who's that guy?
He's been around in the nerd sphere for quite some time. He was on... I forget he was on a video game. He's very cringy interviewer. Very cringy. One of the worst. It's not that I personally dislike him. It's just
what they announce and what they show at Star Wars in Japan is many people are watching.
So is this what is? I heard maybe next week. Is it next week or is it May?
I thought it was May, but don't quote me on that.
My friend Amy's going. My friend Amy's actually going to Japan.
No, it's actually April 18th through the 20th.
So, Joe, your friend is going to Japan.
As far as I know, last I talked to her, she was.
I like the style. Is she a married woman?
No, she's single. She travels a lot.
Send me her details.
Traveler. What's that?
Send me her details. I like that kind of woman.
Oh, okay. It's a love connection here on the mic drop.
I like a woman who's willing to go to Japan for a Star Wars.
She's a hardcore Star Wars fan. She's cosplayed at Dragon Con a couple years ago as Anakin's ghost.
Oh,
like she had the.
That's not the cosplay I was looking for.
No,
that is not the cosplay I was
looking for. Her number if she cosplays as.
She had like a blue thing over her to like that. Like it was cool.
Yeah, but really she cosplays.
Cool. Oh wait. All right, let's do a few minutes here. Look at this special guest. Is this interesting? Manny Jacinto, Kamira, and the Stranger is going to be there. Maybe they are doing a new series.
It's interesting that he's there.
Yeah. Diego Luna, Anthony Daniels, Rosario Dawson for Ahsoka Season 2, Mads Mikkelsen, Hayden Christensen, Oscar Isaac, Ashley Eckstein.
That's all standard, but...
That is the interesting one, Manny Jacinto, because there's no really reason. I mean, people love him, but Ahmed Best, Alan Tudyk's going to be there. Young Boba Fett's going to be there. Doug Chiang, John Knoll. That's the one
Well-
that's most intriguing to me.
Ooh,
Sam
Oscar
Witwer.
Isaac.
Joe, can you get this lady the link?
What lady?
Not tonight, but let's get her on.
Oh, Amy.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah, I could ask her.
I'd like to know what she's doing over there and have her ask some questions. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I actually just pictured her in play.
She's going to be boots on the
Yeah.
ground, Max. You can't
Yeah,
beat
yeah.
boots on the ground.
No,
You
that
know
would be
what I mean?
awesome to speak with someone that went to Star Wars Celebration. Manny
In
just sent
Japan, of all places.
this is very intriguing because there's been some rumors that the Acolyte's actually doing decent rewatches on Disney Plus, and they know, for example, the merch for The Stranger sold pretty good, the masks, and there were a lot of people talking about him. I remember him back from The Good Place, and he really shocked me in this role.
I agree, Max, but again, and I don't want to sound like a prick, everybody. Don't get mad at me. It's in Japan. He's an Asian actor. Them featuring him there could just be that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Maybe he's a voice actor for one of the.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's a Star Wars Visions with The Stranger. It could be something like that. That's another. I could easily.
I tried. I got the picture up of Amy and her Anakin thing, but it's saying I can't. Oh, there it is.
Well,
It's awesome.
And I with her in Atlanta.
That's great. Devotion to the costume. I'd love to talk to her about her experience in Japan. That would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll ask her.
Get her over on this channel. So when is it? It's April 18th.
Yeah, that's great. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh
now.
my God, I'd love to have her on. I wish we had her on tonight because I'd like to know what she's looking forward to and then what she's going to do. That's really big that she's going to Japan for that.
Yeah, we'll reach out. We'll see if we get an update there. Thank you for watching the mic drop. Thank you, Joe. Yeah, Mother, hold my hand.
For Violent too, for the greatest Easter movie ever.
Everybody, we discuss everything on this channel. We're not chuds. We're just discussing everything objectively. Everybody,
I want Fantastic Four to be good. I just have some concerns.
I'm waiting for a good. I mean, all due respect, Joe, I don't feel like the prior Fantastic Fours were up to snuff. I want a proper Fantastic Four movie. Super chat from our friend Cal.
Oh, Cal, you just paid for my Laserdisc in Kings of New York VHS, basically. Cal, $5. Thank you. You ain't watched it yet, but did you like the King of New York? I have it on VHS over here somewhere.
What, the first Scorsese movie?
Isn't it the follow-up to the Wall Street?
I thought it was his first movie.
Maybe it is.
If anyone can get in a $35 super chat under the wire, you will have paid for Max's VHS tapes from tonight.
Is that how it works? Okay. Let's not talk about Max's finance.
But thank you, Cal. I plan on doing a review of both. I will just tell people he recommended Posse as a Western. I got that on Laserdisc, and then I got King of New York on VHS. And I really got to get started on my VHS and Laserdisc reviews.
Cal, one of these days, let's you and me get together. Let's get a 24 brick of Pabst Blue Ribbon, and let's drink it and let's talk, buddy. I really want that.
I love Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Not a Marty film. Okay. It looked great. I've heard of it before. I've just never seen it. I have a lot of research and movie watching.
I'm not familiar then.
All right, so thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you next time, and have a good one.
Good night and good luck, everyone.